Good morning, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the workshop on Newness and Innovativeness. I welcome you all to bring your attention to this moment, to this beautiful value that keeps us moving through life with new enthusiasm, new learnings, new excitements, that there is a constant flow of life with some new experiences every day, every moment. So let's give our attention and time to this beautiful value as we churn through the existence of this value and how we can enhance this value in our lives. So let go of any other thoughts, any lined up schedule, the work that you might go to after the workshop. But this whole workshop is the time we are choosing to give ourselves and bring this value very conscious way, emerged way in our life. Everyone. So today, Dr. Brother Manoj may not be joining, or he may join later as he's traveling in USA. So we will start today. We are the facilitators, myself joining from Canada and Shruti joining from USA. And as we start our workshop, let's look at all the values we have covered for the last 4 years. So we started in 2020. And I'm sure many of us have these beautiful experiences of many of these values, new realizations, and taking it to our life. So today is the workshop number 92 on innovativeness, newness. And yeah, to begin, I'll pass it over to Shruti.
Thank you, Anuban. All right, so let's start with a little icebreaker video. So I'll start sharing my screen. It's a 2-minute video. And what we will be doing with that is just discussing in chat box, what were your observations and what stood out for you? So just one quick second, and I will bring that up. It's a lot on my screen, but hopefully we get this done. And for this exercise, we encourage you to share your comments in the chat box. Some takeaways from the video.
Okay, we'll open the chat room. It's not open.
Oh, it's not open?
Yeah, quickly. Yeah. So now you can chat to everyone.
Okay.
You can put on chat. That's what we try to encourage, as Shruti said. Otherwise, if you have a quick answer, you can unmute and speak.
So we're starting to see some of them come through now that they have permission. So Om Shanti says, I'm sorry, I don't have your name there, just Om Shanti. Says, it's all about trying. Very true. Any other thoughts? Neetu says, I would like to invent a magic wand to instantly solve any mental, emotional, spiritual issues people are facing. Kavita says, never give up. Very nice. Sanam says it's about change. Usha says it's about focus and determination. Manuel says ice break with the toast machine. Very nice. Sanem, we have two today. Says refining stage seems to be a significant stage as an already new idea creation was tried but needed refinement. Very true. Jayanti says get out of boredom and have the interest to continue. Well, it says BK Belgium, but we would love to know your name as well. Says recycling old ideas and thoughts. Very nice. We have another minute or so.
Om Shanti, Didi ji.
Gidu. Yes, Om Shanti.
Om
Vijay,
Shanti,
go
my
ahead,
dear
please.
brothers and sisters. Please accept greetings of love, peace and happiness on this beautiful topic, newness. Just now we saw the video. It is actually in our engineering, we call it is a value engineering, which we call it a PDCA, plan, do, check, and act. So these four things were shown in this video. So newness can come if we follow in our life also, we plan something. When we work, we have to check it. Check and change, which we call. Then only newness will come in our life. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Vijay. Any more comments? And at this point, we would really appreciate the chat, the comments in the chat box. Icebreaker video is always short.
I think we can start.
Yeah, I think I can pass it back to you, Anu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Preeti. And wow, everybody's awakened. I can see so many clear clarity about newness and innovativeness because we don't exist without that, isn't it? Every moment something excites us. So I like it how Vijay Bhai summarized tech and change. CC. So every moment there's something to check and change, bring newness to your life. So the very first exercise, as we always do, we look through the benefits of being innovative. And for that, we will reflect on our own life, in our journey, that reflect on an instance where you were innovative in your approach to some difficult or challenging situation. So take a minute to think about it and what scenario comes to your mind, into your memory. Look through that situation, that how you were innovative in that situation and what did it do? What did it resolve? So jot down the benefits of being innovative. So when you reflect to the situation and the result, how it played out, then write down the benefits, and that's what we'll share so that to inspire everyone that we should be innovative and look for newness, not get carried away with the difficulty or. So I hope that's clear. So let's take 1 minute to churn on it and write down your reply, and then we'll share. I hope you could recall an instance where, what is that new thing you did, and what are the benefits you felt by applying that new ways, how you handled it. Well, let's discuss that very, shortly, and not in a very expansive way. Particularly, we'll discuss what are the benefits, like how did it benefit you being new, bringing new or innovative ideas to the situation. So you can unmute and speak.
Okay, Shanti. Okay, it looks like Baba and Drama prepare me for today because as I was walking outside, I have some wrong thought about people, what body conscious thinking. And straight away, I tell myself I should change my wrong thinking with a title of self-respect. And I say I have to repeat maybe 10 times, 20 times the title of self-respect. So the newness is open a new perspective, and understanding all the spiritual knowledge is helping us so much to create the stage. Okay.
Yeah. So newness is to, let's say, bring out your spiritual essence.
And I can break the bondage of all pattern thinking.
Yeah. So you can feel the freedom. You're free from any bondage of a old pattern. We feel sometimes kind of held down, or something that is stuck in a way that we handle life. And so we can.
But also I was doing able to do that because I was maintaining a spiritual awareness before going out. And then maintaining the spiritual awareness, it looks like either you are aware or Baba can give you a touching to understand what you have to do in the moment, in the situation.
It can give you that instant understanding what I should do, what is that right action to do. And also you mentioned the divine touching that guides. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Sir Michael. Beautiful sharing. Anyone else would like to share? I'm sure innovativeness excites everyone, right? That is what fills us with inspiration and excitement, moving, the beauty in life. Anyone else was inspired to share their thoughts?
Om Shanti Didi ji.
Om Shanti, Vijay brother, go ahead.
Today, we have come to know after going through the spiritual knowledge that what purity can bring in our life. Normally, we feel purity brings happiness and peace, पवित्रता सुख शांति की जननी है, लेकिन स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज से हमें न्यूनेस मिली, पवित्रता सुख शांति और शक्ति की जननी है. हमको पावर मिलती है. This newness has come in our life by following purity, that we become happy, we become joyful, we become blissful, and we become powerful. Om Shanti.
Thank you. So this spiritual knowledge itself is the newness. And as he said, that purity that brings happiness, total peace inside us, because it's the purity of our thoughts, of our feelings for others, for myself, about situations. Purity means keeping that positive attitude, mindset, and handling situations. Then the happiness definitely follows. So that's how this is the newness, to know the spiritual knowledge and to apply during the situation right there, right then, and keeping that good energy, good thoughts, and happiness. Thank you, Vijay brother. I invite anybody else who is inspired to share your thoughts about newness and how it has made your life beautiful, what are the benefits it has brought, or any other thought that how or what newness you have applied in your life somewhere. in some.
Thank you. I would like to share. It's so lovely to see you again, Anu. And,
Thank you, Sanam.
yeah, we already had like with Michelle and Vijay telling us already the big picture of what is necessary, and it sums up into what really needs to be what we in a situation when it comes up, and as soon as we are aware immediately, and as Baba says always, in a second, and not even needing a second. And so to whatever comes, to face it, and then to challenge it, and then ultimately to change it. That is the self-check progress that that Vijay also told us about, planning it, and then yeah, planning it, checking it, changing it. Yeah, thank you. We already had all of this big picture. Thank you.
Beautiful. So facing it, challenging it, and that is where the new aspect that can take us through the situation comes clear. And facing it has that element of acceptance, isn't it? Like not complaining, not thinking why this is happening to me, but acceptance that this is happening. Okay, let me go through it, face it, and then the challenge comes and you can find
And
it.
if I can add one more thing, everything is much nicer with a new language to everybody. Vijay shared with us some Hindi language.
Yeah.
It's so nice. So it is a new language for each of us, I guess. I think, and it's always good to learn and to improve our languages. It improves the brain activity also. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Sanam, to bring attention to that. Yeah, it sounded beautiful, isn't it? New language. He said pavitrata, Tushi, pavitrata is the purity. It sounds so beautiful. And that's how it brings some new inspiration or excitement in our hearts. Thank you so much, Sanam. Maybe we can go for just one more sharing. And I'm checking the chat box if there is any. Okay, not really. I know the light
Can I
system
say
is working.
something?
Yes, yes, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, Om Shanti sister. Newness, Baba loves newness, and Baba inspires and motivate us to do new in everything we do. Newness doesn't mean that we do big things differently. Even if we do the small things with a difference and a creativity, it brings a lot of joy, peace, happiness, bliss in our spiritual efforts and spiritual life. When in the drama, Baba says nothing new, but after coming into this spiritual knowledge, we realize that each moment is new, each experience is new. Everything comes to us for learning and taking us forward. So newness is I would say key newness is the nectar of Brahmin life.
That's right. Newness is the nectar of Brahmin, means who are sensitive or awakened to the spiritual knowledge. That is, not skill-based, but experience, feeling, connecting, meditating with God. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I may add something. Yeah, newness create openness, and it may break all the old pattern of thinking. So it disblockade the soul. Newness.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So yeah, there are some in the chat box. So let me read. Linda says, curiosity, that is the benefit of newness. Curiosity, that is what I have been talking, inspiration, excitement. Every moment takes us through life, right? Curiosity. Jujar says creativity. Then again, Om Shanti. says the satisfaction of having given it a shot as opposed to feeling like a failure or loser. So let's say enthusiasm to take it on, face it, do it, as Sanam mentioned. So not to just sit and say, okay, I'm a failure or I couldn't do it. So that is how not flowing with the difficulty. And Brother Manuel has translated in Portuguese. Maria says, most problems become simpler to solve, and it is fun to get the solution. So yeah, through newness, it becomes fun to solve problems. Sanem said, as she said, that the self-check progress and PDCA that Vijay brother explained, beautiful. So that is the newness that we face it, we challenge it, and we find the solution. Neetu says newness came from the knowledge that what we go through is the result of our own actions. The advantage is I took complete responsibility and stopped blaming others. We regain our powers that way. So, taking responsibility for what is happening, what are the situations, and that's a result of action. That is the philosophy of karma or action, but it is like taking responsibility that I can solve it or I can go through it. Thank you, Neetu. And Maria says that think outside of the box. That's newness. Again, it fills you with excitement, enthusiasm. Usha says in an argument episode, I decided to bring in newness by following silence and not proving my point. It brought in delightful change in the opposite individual who suddenly became humble. Yeah, silence and not proving my point, that is bringing attention to me and really not blaming or judging the other person. That is what can change their energy or feelings, attitude. So humbleness in others, that's the best way to resolve any conflict, isn't it? Hence was the newness. Yeah. So Guido from Belgium says newness every day in listening to Murli. That's the spiritual knowledge that we listen to every day to practically, and we make sure to apply it practically in life. So that brings newness. Yeah. So again, Om Shanti, she or he says that she agrees with the brother. We use newness and innovation constantly in our life, even in the smallest things like cooking, driving, even eating. That's something new. What newness can we bring in eating? Cooking, for sure, we know, and driving. So yeah, that little newness we can bring in. Brother Michael again says newness, create new connection in the brain. So I think we'll finish. There are so many. Again, Bridge Palbai says newness is oneness to the Supreme. So we'll skip actually not seeing the all that is written. You will receive it in the review material. I'll hand it over to Shruti, the running room.
Thank you, Anu. So with these wonderful sharing, let's take a few minutes to start to go inward and start to reflect on what does it mean to be innovative inside out? So again, I will start to share my screen. Give me 1 second. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. And I will play slight music to help us focus. Again, please let me know if you're able to hear the music. It should start. Are you able to hear the music?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so let's, for the next few minutes, just withdraw ourselves for a brief and start to visualize ourselves in our true forms. The shining, bright light, the conscious energy that we are. Let's bring our attention to the middle of the forehead and visualize a shining, bright light. It is this energy, my true form, that drives everything in my life. Every external expression of innovativeness, of newness. Innovativeness is the most natural thing for me. I'm energy. I transform, adjust with different situations, different environments, different people. I may get lost in external things, in external challenges. But I know to return to this place of silence. To remember that this is the most natural thing to me. It is said, creativity comes through silence. Because it's only in silence that I return to my true form. Let's take a few more seconds to just experience this silence. And our true forms. And with that, let's move into the next exercise for action planning.
Thank
Anu?
you so much. It was such a beautiful meditation, very essence deep within the silence. We can come to that and keep moving on with newness and creativity. So let's now reflect on how we can enhance. I'm sure with this deep silence that we are in right now, that silence that gives us power, with that silence, let's reflect on how we can enhance the innovativeness, the various ways and methods that we can bring in to even smallest things that we do, simple every moment and situations, the various ways and methods that can help me enhance my innovative potential. We have the power. Maybe we don't tap into that silence enough to be new, to be innovative in every situation. So how can I enhance that innovative capacity, potential I have through various little acts or ways and methods that I can. Let's, keep it silent for 1 minute, and then we can share our ways and methods. At least one act of newness that we can take home today. We can be creative to add other little new acts or methods to every aspect of our life, to move through every day, every situation, every moment. I hope you have found it. Can we take some sharings? You would like to share your new method that you're taking home? Some new people who are inspired to share? Anything that came into your heart, your mind? A new, yes, Brother Michael, we can start with you.
Okay. No, in a very simple way, in spiritual life, we have a foundation of spiritual study, meditation, and spiritual consciousness. So this create new thinking, new feeling, a new awareness. So I think that is the basic for really creating something new or thinking in a new way or expressing something new or thinking in a new way. So we just have to maintain the basic, and then, I mean, that is my experience really, and then everything else will follow, I guess, you know. And as people say, the cookings, it's true. I do cooking by myself, and just it's quite often I do always something new in my cooking. So, but it's just because I don't think to do something new, but because the mindset is different. So obviously you are open for doing something different, you know. Yeah, I think it's, for me, it can be simple, you know. We don't need to make some difficult method, just go to the basic. And I mean, it works for me anyway. I'm shut.
Bit basic and be open to flow as it is flowing and something new comes. Don't have to create something new or difficult. I see some messages in the chat box. Om Shanti says that finding purpose in life and having zeal and enthusiasm. Yeah. Purpose is very important. Neetu says that newness is the understanding that the opposite of success is inaction. not failure. So failure is a part of success. So the lesson of nothing new has to be used in unpleasant or unfavorable situations. For everything else, it's a wa baba, wa drama, wa me. This. So yeah, nothing new is the new method. Something is happening that it had to happen that way. Just let it flow, and we flow with that situation, and always be grateful for life, for divine, for the situations. That's beautiful, Nitu. Thank you. Sanam says, get ready for the unexpected because we are living in unpredictable work, unpredictable everything. And nothing is under our control. Things can change at any moment. So ready for the unexpected. That's good. That's a new method. Michael says having an aim and moving towards the aim bring the newness. Yeah, having an aim and acting upon it or moving towards it with it. Yeah. Yeah, so unpredictable world, right, Sanam? Okay, so anyone would like to speak and share? Yes, Denise, sister, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. For me, I think it's similar to what Michael said, getting back to the basics, which is for me to spark that, let go of the past and just spark that enthusiasm, as somebody said, inside here, like just be this really sparkling jewel and recognize that when I'm in that consciousness and excitement about what's to come, then it's like I'm invoking newness and in a magical way. So for me, that's what I like to do, is just get back to that point of neutrality in here and spark up that enthusiasm. And then I know that something new and exciting is going to manifest. That's for me. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Didi ji.
Anubhan, sorry, Vijay, just
Yeah.
1 second. Gloria has been waiting. Please go ahead, Gloria.
Okay. Newness with spiritual knowledge has bring to our face a farishta, a angel. This particular knowledge that we are angel, we are farishta, we start giving love, peace, happiness, and bliss to everybody. May all be happy. May all have zeal and enthusiasm in life. May all have belonging to one family. May all have Atmik Smriti. Let us be, we are all souls, children of one supreme soul. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Vijay Bhai. So, Farishta, new word for Sanam, something new for us in Hindi. Okay, Gloria, can you share?
Bueno, mi nombre es Gloria, sí. Y
Yeah.
realmente
Mhm.
en un dolor muy intenso, pues realmente con mi cuerpo, que trata como de agacharlo a uno, pero tuve que realmente mirarme en un espejo.
Beautiful, something new. We understand or not, we are understanding that beautiful heart's language of love. Thank you, Gloria. Maybe
No, she says that her body is creating some pain and dolor, and she wants to get rid of her body, something like that. Yeah.
yeah, so moving away, taking the attention away from the pain and some new, new experience, new feelings may come, the pain will reduce. So we wish you all very well that you feel good, Gloria. Thank you for sharing beautifully in that really language of love. I think we're running out of time today. We took more time at the beginning. Yes, Brijpal Bhai, maybe very quickly, if you want to share. Quickly, thank you.
Yes, you see, this newness, getting up in the Amrit Vele is the newness. Then understanding the knowledge in the real sense, the 3 points. I am the soul, supreme is the point. I am the soul. Soul is the point of life. And third is the drama, which is very important. Fixed one is the point.
Right.
Then in silence, in the seed form, and in the death silence, connection with him is newness. Then acceptance is the newness. To be flexible is the newness. Bend, blossom, and flourish. That is the newness. And then the complete surrender to him is newness.
Right.
Then in the adverse conditions, if what we have learned from the knowledge, if we apply, then we will not mourn the death. We'll celebrate the good deeds. That is the newness. That is, you should invoke the 7 qualities and the 8 powers within and use it as and when required. That is the newness.
Right. So thank you so much. Right. So spiritual knowledge, knowing and doing the needful and bringing it to life practically. That's the newness. Thank you so much, Brijpal Bhai. And just want to read, Anil says, getting up early and offering the day to Baba, to the divine. So being in that higher consciousness that can increase our newness. So again, a few other points are there. Michael also says effort create result and result allow you to improve and improvement allow you to think in a different way. So all these very beautiful sharings you will receive, but I'll ask Deepak Bhai just to show very quickly. I'll just take half a minute. Shruti Ben, I'm sure you can take care of the next part gracefully, I know. So beautiful points today for sure. All the points that you have shared will send you. So please don't miss it. Check through when you'll receive it in the review material. So yeah, you can see it. I don't want to read it again, but there are many aspects that have come in front of us, but it is about the spiritual knowledge, being conscious about that silence within and bringing to our daily life is very, very important. That can give us a constant inspiration and enthusiasm to keep moving. So thank you, everyone. And actually, as Bidhi has posted, everybody, whoever are new, would have not shared their contacts with us, you can send it to me or Vidhi or to everyone so that we can send you the review materials as well as our upcoming programs info. Thank you, Deepak Bhai. So I'll hand it over to Shruti. Thank you.
Thank you, Anu. So much like we always do at this point, we will summarize the start of this topic of innovativeness and newness. And as you all may have already attended, and if not attended, certainly seen the recording on YouTube when Brother Mike George spoke about this topic last Saturday. So it was a fantastic talk, as many of you will recall, and I will just summarize certain key points. We started the discussion by focusing externally, just like we did today in the workshop, wherein innovation, when we think about it, it's typically talked about in the context externally in a business context, wherein we're talking about it in terms of monetary value from ideas. But in our series, in our focus, we always take this conversation or the concept or these values more from an internal, more from a spiritual context, and in which we've already seen in today's workshop, innovation is about churning of knowledge to discover deeper value from the personal understanding, something that came out so vividly and so many times in all of our sharing. So it's about creating value from the knowledge that we have received from our own personal understanding. One of the key things when we think about spiritual knowledge is the understanding or the experience of being a soul, and really thinking about when we think about the soul as being something that's separate from the body and as having a consciousness or a perspective, which includes the mind and the intellect. The mind, which allows you to create that inner freedom to go beyond the limits, allow you to let go of the habit of attachment to your beliefs and concepts. And that this is what the talk spent a lot of the time on. The second aspect of the consciousness and the faculty is more about the intellect, which has both the rational as well as intuitive aspect. When you take the information from outside in and process it, that's rational. When the information is going from inside out, it's processed intuitively, and it leads us to realize our own truth. Right? Somebody talked about touching, we talked about it in the meditation as well, going into silence and really getting some of that from the inside out. So you already know, and you realize that you already know what you need to know. And the more you know, interestingly, you gradually diminish that need to know. You already have everything that you need. The second aspect of the talk that we focused on was also on karma. What Brother Mike was talking about was karma and how that plays a role in innovativeness and newness and creating situations that require some of this. Karma has a stored memory of past action that is out of alignment with the true self. So negative karma is really about action that's out of alignment, and you carry a subtle recording. But if you act as per your true self, you will have a subtle recording. And if you act against the truth of what you are, the action will be remembered, and that memory becomes a sanskar. The sanskar gets triggered, and when we come across someone who is similar or someone in our consciousness, and that is what is really when we think about the karmic reaction. There were several questions that came up in the conversation, in the talk with Brother Mike George. The first one was, I won't take every question in the interest of time, but a few key ones. One of them was, how do I convert my spiritual knowledge into my spiritual experience? And how do I know whether what I'm experiencing is not is reality or illusion? And Brother gave a very interesting answer. He said, when it's reality, you won't want to hold on to it. If you hold on to it and you get attached to the experience, it will take you down and affect the quality of your consciousness. That's when it becomes an illusion. So if you allow it to flow, that's reality. And that is what we often talk about, flowing through drama. The other one was the question, of course, he's just always so cheerful and laughing. The question was, how do you always remain so happy? Is it due to the fact that you've let go of all the good you've done and you remain light? And he said, I'm just easygoing. The more I churn the spiritual knowledge, I feel light and easy. These were, again, some very interesting, very good questions that came up. Somebody asked, I've just started my spiritual journey. I read books, but how do I visualize newness? And he said, don't force yourself, just meditate, experiment. Different things will work at different times. Another one was, what is the best and the easiest way and the most simple way to move in this path? And he talked about spiritual class, meditation, voluntary service, and yoga, or meditate, and implementing, which he mentioned was more about implementing or bringing it into practice, the spiritual knowledge. We can move forward. Another question on the similar line, how do I develop concentration and meditation? Which sometimes even people who've been on this path for several years ask. And his answer was, don't force yourself to be focused. It will create tension within yourself. Find a natural rhythm. Sorry, I have to close this window. Yeah. And just let it be natural. For example, if you focus on peace, you will naturally see peace emerging around you. And it has to become a natural way of being. The next question is slightly more from somebody who's already been on this path. Can sanskars be burnt? Burnt with through yoga, through meditation? Or will they continue to emerge and merge? And he answered that sanskars have an attachment to a belief. Spiritual knowledge comes into consciousness, and then there is burning. Then there is burning that allows the truth to seep in. So it's a bit of both. I think I won't read some of this, but like Anu said, on a couple of occasions, you will be receiving this deck. The recording of the talk is also on YouTube. So I think with that, I can hand it back to Anu to welcome Sister Aruna. I think she's already joined. She's here. So back
Thank
to
you.
Anu.
Yes. Thank you, Shruti. I know today a bit late. We became from the first exercise, but you did well. And yes, everybody will receive this summary as well as all our sharings in the session, and also the YouTube video you can watch for sure. So yes, Sister Aruna is with us. It is really a privilege always to have her, and for this very important topic. Definitely, we are looking forward to listen to you. So welcome, Sister Aruna. And today, actually, well, what introduction can I give about you? Everybody knows you. She is a very well-known spiritual author, and really inspires us through the beautiful examples she shares with us, that stays with us, that really helps us to practically, see different way to life in situations and move on. So it's many decades. She is serving everyone, the whole world, through Brahma Kumaris. And right now she is in the Global Retreat Center in UK. And I think before I hand it over to you, as always, Dr. Manoj has written the poem to welcome you, as well as a few words about the newness. So let me read that. So for newness, today, Sister Aruna shall share tips on how to think new, which indeed can only be done by a handful few. Let's give a chance to our soul battery to renew. It's like refreshing the self like the early morning dew. Then our weaknesses won't take the chance to self-stew, and we can then experience the peace within like the sky blue. Let's try to tighten ourselves with the spiritual screw. That's what we kind of talked today, the spiritual knowledge. And try to mend our fragmented relationships with God's sew. Maybe we have God's sew to sew or, put together all the fragmented relationships. So let's try to tighten ourselves with the spiritual screw and try to mend our fragmented relationships with God's sew. Let's not be a prey to mighty Ravan and give him the chance to chew, because we need to, in our accounts, let the spiritual interest accrue, so that in the golden age, I play the role as a debut and start for 21 births the part in the drama anew. There are few spiritual words that maybe Sister Aruna can take through in this beautiful poem. So from all of us, Sister Aruna, please welcome. I hand it over.
Thank you, Anuben. And Shanti to everyone. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay, great. So yeah, happy to be here. And what an innovative topic. In the sense that I was thinking there's a lot of new happening already. But are we happy with that new? Not really. right? So in addition to the new, we actually want positive new, we want an empowered new, we want a beautiful new. So it's not just enough that something is new, but it should touch the heart. And so I'll get on to my personal experiences, but before that, I'd just like to share a PowerPoint and show you a few slides. So, yeah. So I was thinking, what is another word for new? Because actually, when we think of new, we're thinking of lots of different kinds of new in different contexts. So we're looking at originality, for example, when a design is original, right? As opposed to boring. And as I read these things out, actually, I want you to see for yourself what words you relate to, because then you will get an idea of what newness or what type of newness, what theme of newness you think that your soul is looking for. So let's take originality. So as I said, as opposed to boring, ordinary, banal, which means like the same old, right? Nothing new, nothing creative. Novelty, next one. So newness is synonymous with novelty, which means, yeah, something new. So the opposite of that would be nothing new, traditional, conservative. What about freshness? So opposite of freshness is stale, rotten, decayed, decomposed, spoiled. What about uniqueness? When I'm looking for newness as opposed as a uniqueness in my life. So the opposite of that is when something's the same, when it's just common. So again, look at your life and ask yourself, yeah, what is the same? Same old. Recentness, it was also a synonym for newness, which means, I mean, the opposite of that is outdated, historical, obsolete, vintage, and outmoded. What about improvement, right? When we do house improvement. So why we want house improvement is because we don't want the same old. We're bored. We want change. We want advancement. Modernity. Modernity is also a synonym for newness. Again, opposite is traditional, stale, conformity, innovative, uncreative, uninventive, unoriginal, bland, dull, and unfamiliar. When something is new, like you go to a new country, right? That's unfamiliar, unfamiliar territory. And so you have to get acquainted with it. You have to get accustomed with it. So yeah, you can see that newness can come in many different areas, in many different ways in my life. And so when I say I want something new, what do I really mean? What am I really telling myself? And if I'm not clear with that, then I'm not going to be able to find the answer to my life. I'm not going to be able to solve the problem. So yeah, see, the thing is that many of us are looking for newness. So let's look at newness in terms of interior versus exterior. Now, we all know that we can go buy a new wardrobe, we can go get a new car, we can get a new haircut, we can repair our house, again, clean up the garden, put new roses, even take a holiday, go and come back. But, right, there's always a but. But then what? And so the newness that we're really seeking, which I will talk about later again, is the newness which is inside. For example, many of us go to Mount Abu, and we go to Mount Abu every year and sometimes twice a year. And we've been going for 40, 50 years. Now, if you had a resort in Cancun or Mallorca or anywhere, if you were going there again and again, you would likely get bored and you would say, okay, now I want to change this apartment. I want to find a new location, a new place, want to do new things. But why is it that when we go to Mount Abu again and again and again, we're so happy and we come back renewed and refreshed? Mount Abu is the headquarters of the Brahma Kumaris, and what we're doing there, what most of us are doing there, is a lot of inner work. And so when we come back, there is this sense of newness in the soul. There's a sense of new perspective. So I'd like you to see, again, as I do this sharing, I'd like you to look at yourself and say, okay, I want newness, but is it really external newness? Or is it some change in my perspective? Because I could be in the same place doing the same thing, but if I change my vision, then that world becomes new for me. And that is a much easier trip than taking a plane. And so, yeah, I was saying that new is quite short-lived, actually, especially if it's exterior new. It's very short-lived in the sense that we can be thinking that this is good for us. And as usual, there's a high in what we experience because it's new, right? A new relationship or a new hobby, new talent, new creative experience. But then we get bored of that. So there's nothing wrong in trying new creative things. But I think for me, the lesson is always, okay, what am I, the soul, learning from this? So if I'm trying to practice, I did actually, and I don't have time now, but I was practicing the ukulele, which is a little guitar. And what I was learning was a lot of patience because, yeah, I've never had a string instrument before. And of course, you know, looking at the notes, memorizing the notes versus the strings. So the thing is, if the soul is feeling some sense of progression, some learning, some good feeling factor from inside, then that experience is, in a sense, everlasting. But if it's just something temporary or for the sake of it, then yeah, it's not going to last long. And then we want the next thing and the next thing. So this is when, you know, wanting new things becomes an addiction. And that's why people like to go shopping, even though they've got a whole wardrobe of clothes. No, they want to get the latest. So there was an author who was saying actually that the thing is that we may want something new, right? Crone is the name. So we may want something new, but the thing is, yeah, Helmut Crone. But the thing is that we have not associated ourselves with the learning of that new. So we inject some newness into our life, but then it's hard for us to judge because we have no frame of reference for that new. So we don't really know if that thing is good for us or not. Do you see? So for example, we get into fashion because that's what everybody does. And we may go get the latest thing. But then how do I know? This is where I need to do a bit of soul searching to know, is this really good for me? Do I just follow the herd and the masses and do as they do because that's how I want to be seen? Or do I look at the soul and say, what do I want to feel? Not how I want to be physically seen by others, but how I want to feel inside. And so a lot of people stress trying to keep up with the latest, which is all the gadgets, which is all the fashion, which is all the whatever's the latest trend, parties, etc. And as I said, it's so short-lived. So that's where it becomes a drug, because then you want more and more and more, and you're not getting the high, you're not getting fulfilled by the new. So the new has to be actually everlasting, right? Eternal or evergreen, as we say. So not living in the now moment. Why do we want something else? Because we're not actually living in the now. Think about it. Just take a moment now. This moment is an absolutely pure moment. If I'm just in this moment, it's just this moment. But then I pollute it with the past. I start worrying about what was and how it was. And I may even recall some of my old memories. Oh, see, when I was alone like this, this is what happened. When my parents left me, this is what happened. Do you see? So what's happening is that I am associating this moment with a memory from the past, and it's not really helping me. It's not serving me. Or I'm afraid of the future. What's going to happen to me? Will I be taken care of? Will there be people around me? Will I be happy? So what about this moment? As I think of the past, as I think of the future, this moment is passing. So I was really feeling, because I was trying to think of this talk as I had to prepare for it. And I was thinking, actually, every moment now is a new moment. And if I can, just as you're taking in a new gasp of air, right? Right? In the same way, take in this moment with the soul. Let the soul just really observe and take in what's around you right now. And many of us are missing the moment. We're not appreciating actually what is around us. And that's why we then get bored. Right? Boredom is actually a laziness of the intellect. The laziness of not being able to stay with what is now in front of me. And that's why then I want something else, something new. And as I said earlier, it's a bottomless pit because it's never enough. So actually, the people who stay a lot on social media, Instagram and others, Facebook, etc., their attention span is like 8 to 9 seconds now. As soon as they've seen a bit, swipe, swipe, swipe. They cannot stay and be patient or be tolerant or be accommodating. And that's why you must have noticed that when people are doing these ads, they tell the people when you do your little ad, when they show it on the YouTube, like it has to be no more than 5 seconds. If you haven't grabbed that person's attention in the first 5 seconds, you will not grab their attention at all. So yeah, we can see that now we're moving into the spiritual area of when I'm living in the now moment, I'm actually living at peace with myself. When I'm really at peace with everything that's happening around me, when I don't want anything different, then I'm enjoying this moment. And then I'm so happy. That's the point, right? We want newness actually in order to be happy. But I forget that happiness is here, right inside of me. I'm not happy because of this, this, and this. It's here, right here inside. So that deep contentment of who I am, what I have is missing. And then that's why it's like I want to escape from myself. I want to escape from my life. But where can I run to? Where can the soul run to? It can't run anywhere because the soul has to live in this body and it has to live in its drama. And then that's why people get sad and depressed and upset. Because where can they run to? So really, newness is a power. If you have the art of newness, I think you're quite empowered because you can make something out of anything. You can make something out of this moment. Even if you're in traffic, even if you're on the bus, traveling on the train, you really make the most of that moment. And you don't think, oh, I want to be somewhere else, doing something else, being somebody else. So if I can practice this, right, that I just want, well, let's say spiritual newness, then as you seek it, you will find it. So spiritual newness would be something like that you see the beauty in what's happening, or the quality in the person in front of you, or the benefit in the situation that's in front of you. And then it makes meaning, right? Gives meaning to the moment. So there's a lot, yeah, to be said about just being in the moment, living in the moment, and feeling this sense of newness. Okay, expanding the comfort zone. So basically, many of you must have seen the S-curve. So I've made an attempt here to show you the S-curve. So what I mean here is what happens is we get used to the norm of what's happening in our life until we get to the point where it starts winding down. So everything's going well. There's initiation, escalation. But then there comes a curve here where I start to think, you know what? I'm not happy with the way things are going. And things start to go downhill. So in this phase, I have to think and I have to reflect. And some people go on retreats and take time out. And in a sense, they have to expand their comfort zone, because the thing is that we become too comfortable in our comfort zone. And so there's no more learning. There's no more experience. In a sense, there's no more sensing or feeling. We've become numb. And so what we do here is we start something new. And this is applicable. The S-curve is applicable to every organization. Like Mike was saying, I was reading your notes, that, yeah, every company needs newness. So you will see, right, chocolate bars, right? Kit Kat. I remember eating Kit Kat as a kid, or Mars bars. the wrapping on that and the wrapping today is a world of difference. I'm sure the chocolate is the same. I don't know. I don't eat it anymore. But just even new packaging, or maybe orange Kit Kat as opposed to plain chocolate, or soaps, they change their packaging, or this washing powder. They say, okay, we will add some blue, these blue flakes to it. And that makes it new, that makes it different. So it's just very small incremental changes. And everybody thinks, wow, this is a new product, let's try it. So in the same way, instead of, I would say, instead of getting to this point where I start getting bored of the same old, where there's no originality, no uniqueness, no modernity, why don't we keep, right? Imagine if you just keep adding newness to it, then you don't need to become depressed or de-escalate here. So yeah, we have to find our methods of what really excites us. What do we enjoy doing? As I said, it's not just about doing, so don't take me wrong. I'll expand on this in a minute, but it's about whatever I do, it's giving me another experience. And ultimately, the experience that I'm really looking for, and again, this is from my conclusion, my experience, is I want the experience of being in control of myself. The reason why I meditate, the reason why I want a peaceful life, the reason why I don't want conflict, the reason why I don't want to give and take sorrow, the reason why I serve, all that is to make myself stronger so that then I can be in charge of my life. Not fix other people's lives, no, fix my life so that I can manage my thoughts and feelings and emotions. So this is about expanding your comfort zone. And sometimes what happens in the drama of life is that drama will throw things at us to test us. So this will happen. I think I'm going along okay, and then something doesn't work out. And then maybe this is not me. Maybe this is drama. Maybe this is the curve of drama of life, where suddenly, like in my case, I'm told, okay, you have to come here. So I moved from the Middle East and I come to Oxford. So that's a big S curve here, isn't it? And so then I have to adapt and I have to adjust and I have to find meaning and purpose again. So the point is that, yeah, you have to keep feeling inside. There could be lots of physical changes happening, but am I relating to those physical changes? If I'm not relating to them and taking benefit of them, then it's not working for me. But I think deep down inside, especially those on a spiritual journey, they want to keep feeling like they're growing, they're moving forward in the soul, not in terms of promotion, but they're learning something new, they're becoming wiser, they're growing inside, they're maturing. They're getting new perspectives, new heights of experiences, right? This is the kind of growth, and we're happy no matter what now. Before we were happy, but not always. Now it's getting to that stage of, you know what? I'm happy no matter what. So yeah, it's a learning, isn't it? It's a growing. And this is what we want to be experiencing. That's my point. So we have to find the newness. So how? Let's look at that. Let's give you some ideas. So yeah, in terms of change outside, you can go and learn new things. Like I said, new hobbies. I know people who have gone and learned sewing and crocheting. And there are some people who are paragliding. There are some people who are learning cards, right? I mean, these are just some of my nieces, my nephews. So there's a lot of learning that can take place, which makes you feel, okay, I'm changing. Change your daily routine, you feel newness, right? Do things a different way, maybe go for a walk, then have your breakfast, or have your lunch at 2 or 3 instead of 1 or 12 or 1. Rest, go to bed early, rest later, earlier, whatever. Now the latest thing is, you know, rest in the morning, because a lot of people are not able to, if they wake up early and they have a rest in the afternoon, they're not able to fall asleep. So then some people are suggesting, well, rest in the morning. So you do your morning routine, have your breakfast, and then just have a little cat nap, and that should take you through the day. So anyway, try different things in terms of your daily routine. Try to eat 2 meals a day, try to eat 1 meal a day, and see how you feel. Try to drink more, try to drink less coffee. So all that is daily routine. Seek new experiences is, more about, traveling, meeting new people, or even if you're not traveling, really it's so important to get to know other cultures and to see, you know, how is it that they work? How do they tick? Because sometimes we think we are the only ones who, you know, who know how to do something, or this is the right way because we've always done it. But just start speaking to your neighbor and see how they cut the grass, how they trim the roses. But it's about this intention to learn, to want to seek new experiences. That's different to the other one, engage in new activities, which is what I was saying about learn to paint, or learn to learn a new instrument, or get creative in different ways. Get into cooking, get into creative cooking, get into creative presentation of your cooking. And now so many people on Instagram showing you how to do things in 10 minutes. So again, these are external. Set new goals. Set new goals is, so you may have a daily goal, you may have a weekly goal, you may have a goal every 2 weeks, you may have a monthly goal, you may have a yearly goal. But the important thing is to have some kind of a goal, right? So the point of adding all this, or let's say injecting all this into your life, is that you're moving away from the kind of daily humdrum of your life, and you're trying something new. You're keeping your mind open. Because if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you always got. And that's not what we want. So, having said that, and I'm sure there's other things, but that's enough for now. But having said that, let me ask you. So you see an iceberg here. So you can see the top of the iceberg, and then you can see the bottom of the iceberg here. So they say that 25% is on the top and 75% is on the bottom. So when I talked about, when I talked about these things, right? Change outside. What I'm referring to is the top of the iceberg. Because you're changing just your drama of life from the outside. And okay, that's okay. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's useful. But to be honest, that's not enough. What we really want to change is here. Because in which direction is the iceberg moving? It's not moving in the direction of the air. It's moving in the direction of the water current. Because the greater mass is here at the bottom in the water. And so what is guiding that? What is guiding us from inside? And that is our perspectives, our attitudes, our beliefs, our thoughts, our habits. and even our self-image or sense of self-worth, image of self-worth, self-image. So if this is not in the right place, then no matter how much change you can bring outside of you, it's not going to matter. So let me give you some examples. So for example, there's a lot of people who believe in like crystals, rosaries. They believe in essences, oil essences, aura sprays, crystals that are put out, special alignment of the room, feng shui, right? Which direction your bed, your desk, etc. There's energy machines that can kind of keep away the EMFs in your house. There are a number of things that can help you to keep your atmosphere good. And you could afford all of it, and you could have all of it in your house. But if inside, I'm not happy, I'm not content, I'm restless, I'm peaceless, I have no purpose, then what is the point of all that? The same, like look at Oxford, it's so beautiful now, it's so green, lots of flowers, everything looking pretty. But if my inner garden is not looking pretty, then no matter how beautiful that is, I'm not happy. So the real change, the real newness that I need, which is the ultimate newness, is where everything starts, and that is in the mind. And that is in the soul, that is inside. So we have thoughts. Thoughts also create perspectives and beliefs and attitudes and habits. And thoughts also create a sense of who I think I am. So if I'm not changing the thoughts, then what am I doing? If I change everything outside, but I don't change my thoughts, then again, I'm not in alignment. See it like there's this story, right? Of so there was a king who went out in India some time ago, long ago. So he went out and with his men, and he was just out in the forest. He came across a few villages, and he fell in love with this young girl. So he said to the parents, you know, let me marry this young girl. I'll look after her, take care of her. And he gave them a bunch of money, and they said, okay. And he brought her to the palace. And then what do you think? Do you think she was happy in the palace? No. Because it meant nothing to her. She wanted to go back to her hills, her fields, her friends. She was completely out of context. And so she wanted to just live her village life in the way she ate, in the way she dressed, in the way she behaved. And the king thought, oh, I'm offering her a great life. Well, no, sorry. So this is the point, right? Nothing changes unless I change myself. Nothing changes unless I change my thoughts. And nothing changes unless I change my perspective around the things that are happening. So like I said, the knowledge, the wisdom of the Brahma Kumaris is more to help us to see that, hang on a minute, everything that's happening has a third perspective to it. There's a reason to why everything's happening. So I'm not looking at things like this. I'm looking at things from the top down. I'm seeing the whole picture and I'm saying, that's why this had to happen. And that's why that happened. Now I can say that with conviction that, yeah, if something's not going right, then there must be a reason why it's not going right. So I don't fret over it as much as before because there's a reason why it's happening. I can't see all the reasons. I can't join all the dots at the moment, but I trust in the theory that there must be a reason why it's happening. And so that enables me to stay calm and cool now and not panic and not stress. So to keep the bigger picture in mind. Okay, I think I've said enough on that. Yeah, so this is the final slide. So what I want to show you is this picture. Some of you may have seen it, but it's a famous example that's given about the Chalutaka Bridge. So actually what happened is the river, they built this bridge and the river was flowing under here. But with time, right, the bridge stays where it is because it's solid, it can't move, right? But nature formed its own way and the river moved. So this is often given as an example that even after having made great plans and preparing, the unexpected always hits hard. And nature always ultimately takes its course. And so we may not be able to control some things, but it is important always to be prepared for the unexpected. So the reason to tell you this is no matter how much you may prepare for that newness that you're so seeking from deep within, but I equally have to have the power to adjust and adapt, even if it's not there. And as I said, there's a reason to why it's not there. And so if I can hold on to the theory, I keep saying theory because maybe you don't believe in it yet, but trust in the theory that there's a reason to why everything that's happening around me. And then with that calm presence of mind, then I'm able to manage my life and I'm able to take the next decision. So unlike this bridge, you see this bridge, which again symbolizes something very solid, rigid, inflexible, right? The bridge, if it was us, should be moving to adapt to the river, but no, it can't. So a rigid personality cannot adapt, cannot adjust. Whereas you can see nature is so fluid. It adapts to everything. Look at even the Sahara Desert. Look at all the water and the mountains. They actually all live in kind of synergy together. And that's why they're able to survive. So, yeah, I think that's what I want to say. I mean, as I said, it's newness is a unique topic. But yeah, I think I've shared what I'd like to say.
Thank you so much, Sister Aruna. Really beautiful sharing and the distinction you gave between external and internal, and how much newness we may be able to bring internally. We have to also be ready to adapt, to adjust. The unexpected is always there. So yeah, outside we may change many things, but internally the self-image, the self-belief is important. But to know, even we sometimes, like you said, live in that comfort zone. I also loved it that, as you said, the boredom or the laziness is not being able to keep up with what is now in front of me. But that is usually the case. Maybe we can take up one question. If anybody has any question, you can also ask, put in the chat, or you can even ask, unmute and ask. But yeah, my question would be, how do we make that effort? What is the effort so that I don't miss this present moment? We are always in that comfort zone, want to live there or the past. And still the unexpected catches us. We are still going down to the pain or depression. Being aware, practicing spiritual practice, still we are shaken when the unexpected is coming. So what would be that regular practice maybe we put a day, every day?
Okay, so again, the truth is that absolute soul consciousness, when I'm really in the experience that I'm a soul in this body, just playing my part. When I'm in absolute soul consciousness, then I'm in the moment. When I am body conscious, then I'm not in this moment. When I'm body conscious, then what is body consciousness? There's the attachment, or there's the ego, or there's the greed. I'm being governed by these vices. And that's why then my vision meaning the soul, vision is always up there, out there, up there. What's that one? Against that one. But when I'm in absolute soul consciousness, I'm just really content and I'm just really happy in this moment. I don't want anything different from this moment. So that is how we do it. And of course, for that, those who don't know the knowledge of the soul, it's important to take the sessions from your local classes to understand, firstly, what is the soul and what is absolute soul consciousness? I, the pure being, using this body, the instrument. I'm looking out through these eyes now. I'm listening through these ears now. It's the soul that I have to give importance to, not the body. So if the body is weighing heavy, so if there's fear, as I said earlier, of, oh, who's going to look after this body? Right? That's the fear that's created, the insecurity that's created. And so then my mind will always go to, oh, what can I do to secure my future? Or something happened in the past. See, this one said this to me. This is how I'm insulted. So again, my mind goes to the past, to that one. And as I said, I'm missing this moment. Missing now, missing every second. And of course, we know, right? In Islam, they say you all are born with the fixed number of breaths. I think it's in every culture, actually. And once that breath goes, that's it, finished.
That's right. So we finished. How, quickly we breathe them out, that quickly life finished. So that's the belief.
I mean, look at now, it's 15th of June, right? It's like half the year gone. And it felt like we just had Christmas. We just had January. We just had Madhuban in February. It's just passing. Every day is passing.
Not being in the moment, and moments are passing so fast. And we don't even realize. And how beautifully you also brought the attention that with this Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, the attention span is so just few seconds. So restless for something new because this now is being missed. It's really beautiful, very powerful message for all of us to check. I think there are one question. There are really new questions coming, good ones. So Akash says that, does destiny plays its role in getting the path of Brahma Kumaris? What do you have to say? Somebody has to come to Brahma Kumaris or the spiritual knowledge.
Well, everything is destiny, isn't it? Everything is destiny. I mean, whether you get work or not, or family members, or which family members, whether they have difficulty and you have to give attention to them. Or if your brother becomes the president, I mean, then that's your good karma or whatever. I don't know, actually, I shouldn't judge that. But everything is karmic. So everything is destiny, isn't it? So yeah, whether you're meant to come to the BK or not, that is also destiny. Yeah.
Right.
You will decide. Yeah, you will decide with your thoughts whether you should be here or not. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere the destiny is playing, right? Everything, like you said, that is a reason, purpose, really believing and having trust.
But I think maybe the thing that should be answered is, how is destiny created? It doesn't just happen like that. I mean, with my thoughts, words, and deeds, I'm creating my destiny. So I think that's the important answer. It's not just a yes or no answer, but yeah, if you want to come to Brahma Kumaris, then yeah, you have to take that step to go to the center. Then you have to take the mental step to meditate and put in the effort. So then you get the reward. So yeah, destiny doesn't mean it just happens without any cause. You create a cause and then there is an effect.
So somewhere the question is, as Marilza in the chart asking that there is a relationship between self-discipline and innovative. So again, recognizing that what is that you're seeking from, inside you requires the recognizing every moment that's passing by, but then not being disciplined, not being focused on what I'm doing at the moment, that takes me away from that. So somewhere that self-discipline, how do we create? And the person is asking, how is it related, self-discipline and innovativeness, newness that we feel? What is the relationship? Would you like to comment?
Yeah, firstly, I don't think that they're opposites. I think they can be on the same side. So when I am disciplined, then basically I get things done. I think this is the point of being disciplined. You have things to do, you stick to it, and then you accomplish it. So discipline doesn't mean you can't be innovative. You can be innovative. But the point here is, again, the end result. What's the end result? Why do I want to be innovative? To what end? And how much energy am I willing to put into it? Or what's the price of this innovation? I think these are some of the questions I need to ask myself. Is it worth my time and energy that I'm putting into it? So if I think yes, then you would, right? You would definitely do it. So I'm into a project at the moment, and because I'm enjoying it so much, I am staying disciplined with it. And there is innovation with it. I mean, I'm willing to adapt and change with it because it's taking time. I have to be patient. So there is discipline and there is innovation. That's why I'm saying I think they could be on the same spectrum. But yeah, what you have to ask yourself, the why. Why is it that you do what you do or you want to do? And then you get clarity.
Yeah, so there's the element of excitement. You enjoying it, and you want to be disciplined, sticking with it, and whatever it demands, the newness, the change, I want to adapt and move with it. So asking ourselves why. And there's a how-to question that we multitask, listening, going over phone, doing something else. Again, it's the discipline question. Then how to just stop that and be focused on one thing. So that is again the discipline. You answered it, asking the question what you like, or anything you want to add to that, how to bring focus on doing just one thing.
Yeah, so this is what I was saying earlier, that not here, somewhere else, that this myth of multitasking, it is a myth, actually. It doesn't work. So people used to think I can do this and I can do this. And no, because they're saying that you're using both sides of your brain. You're using the right brain, which is creative, and the left brain, which is more logic. And so that's what's making us tired. And actually, believe it or not, a lot of people are getting something called brain fog, which means it's like a fog in their mind and they just can't think. There's a lot of confusion. They can't make decisions. Everything gets stalled and things don't shift. So yeah, you have to be disciplined. And I think that's when you have clarity that this is what I need to do. This is how I need to be. This is how I need to see the situation. And then just stay in that. Just stay focused on that. That's where meditation really helps. Because it looks like we're just focusing on a point, which is here, to meditate. But that focusing of the eyes is helping us to focus our thoughts, our mind. And then our experience is focused. And that is an exercise. That is like using the muscles of your mind. So in the one moment I'm out here, next moment I'm inside. I'm engaged out here, what's happening, but then the next moment I am lost in my inner world. So that is discipline, right? That's the power, the ability to do that which I want when I want. That's the kind of self-control I was talking about earlier. The kind of self-control I'm looking for is that I can master my mind to such an extent that when I say, no, don't think of that, that's it, it stops. And when I say, okay, let's think about this, let's be here, let's stay with this thing, it can stay there, it can sit still without getting mischievous. So that's the kind of thing I'm looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So, yeah, focus. That's the creativity, newness every second, and focused. That full energy goes to that. I think, yeah, we can stop here. I know still we took time to ask questions. There is another question, but we're running out of time though. So we would also love to have a meditation experience with you. And before that, today, when Sister Claudia couldn't join, Dr. Mehta is not here, so they are busy in their own things, I'm sure. And Sister Claudia is going with family issues, but she's handling powerfully an example in front of us. So on behalf of all our seniors, Brother Manoj is also not here, and everyone, all the participants, we really want to thank you from our hearts for this beautiful, beautiful awakening, newness.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll also take a minute to announce. Yeah, you wanted to say something.
No, just thank you. Thank you for being present and listening, and thank you.
Thank you, sister. It's always great to have you because the insight we get is profound. So quickly, let me just take you all through the announcements coming up programs. So we have our episode 93, sorry. On strictness. So we'll have our very senior Asha Didi joining from Om Shanti Retreat Center in Delhi. She'll take us through this unique value. Value-wise, it is the niyama nishtata, like we have to be disciplined. That way are we going to be strict. Otherwise, it may not be a value when we use it to control others or anything. That sakti, they say in Hindi. So let's see, we'll go through a deeper insight on this with Asha Didi on 22nd of June, same time, 7 a.m. for West Coast US, Canada, 7 p.m. India. So please join us then. And followingly, we'll have our next workshop on strictness, and we'll have Sister Shireen from USA to take us through, again, the further insight and the experiential exercises. We'll also have the silence retreat on newness on Saturday, 29th June. So all regular way, the next 2 weeks are planned. So this is our beautiful calendar you receive in the email with the review materials every time. So check it out. And we have our websites, vyasa.in and vancouver.brahmakumaris.ca for all the information about these programs. You can find our all the videos, including today's, on the YouTube channels, as well as this playlist. So you can take a snapshot and out. So thank you, everyone. And also, before going to meditation, a photo with you. So that's our memory. We'll keep it always with us. So please open up your video if you want to be in the photo. Gallery mode. You can see everybody too. Smile. Remember what is the newness. You're going to churn. You're going to bring it into your life. That will make you smile and not miss any present moment. So that's beautiful. I got, there you go. Okay, so now we'll hand it over to you, Sister Aruna, for a beautiful experience.
How many minutes is the commentary?
5 minutes. We can go a little over, but yeah.
So yeah, just sit comfortably and try to let go of anything that you're holding and just relax into your seat. So I'd like to use these few moments. I'd like to use these few moments to experiment with creating a new thought. So right now, I'd like you to create a thought, a very beautiful, positive thought that you have never thought of before. It could be about yourself. It could be about others. It could be about the world. But something that you have not thought of before. Something beautiful, something powerful. And so I'd like you to just sit with this thought, and I'd like you to create a belief around this thought that I am that, or that one is that, or that is the world. And just see how you make that shift in your consciousness from your usual thinking pattern to thinking something new, something special, something different. So now imagine that that lens of that new thought, that new awareness, is the lens that you are going to look through. So if I said that the world is a wonderful place, then everything I look at in the world has to be looking wonderful through that lens of wonderment. If I said for myself that I can conquer the world, then everything I do with that conviction. So just one thought can create a change, a shift in your destiny. And when I create these thoughts in silence, in this kind of quietness, then it really takes root. So just always take time with yourself, a few moments in silence, and plant those seeds of newness from time to time. And then just water with attention. And the important thing to realize is that I can make a shift in myself. It's as easy as creating a thought. And let us just take a moment to remember God, the one who always sees us as new, always sees something new in us. The one who never gets bored. Thank you, Om Shanti.
Thank you, Sister Aruna. That was really beautiful. I really want to thank everyone, Sister Shruti for being with me, the teamship today, and the whole translators and recorders group, and the whole team behind the scene who worked really. There are many, like Brother Deepak, Sister Pooja, Sister Kosha, Sister Vidhi, and many more who make this happen, and all the participants for being with us together in this journey. And today, I'm sure we're taking a promise not to miss any single moment, right, everyone? Thank you, Sister Aruna. It was really beautiful to be with you. And there are a lot of in the chat people have put thanks, gratitude.
Thank you.
Oh, bye now. See you all again.